What's up guys, Lewi here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you are doing great. Today I'm going to give you and show you a blueprint of how I use ChatGPT for time management. This is a complete webinar that I did recently for over 60 people who showed up to it. And we went through a lot of different techniques, a lot of different strategies, how I use ChatGPT to break down your entire business and to put it in to a place where you can actually fit it into your calendar and have ChatGPT not only understand your business to a T, but help you schedule all the tasks and become a complete project manager for you. So this was a phenomenal webinar that we did. It was awesome, well attended. The feedback was amazing. And now I want to bring it to you for free on YouTube here. So hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, put them in the chat below and I will get back to you with them. All right, enjoy. Welcome to the webinar. We did this last week and we got a ton of great feedback. So we decided to run it again and let people get in here, get some information on how I use ChatGPT for time management, how I do everything, and blast through some stuff. So I hope you guys are ready to roll. So let's just get into it, guys. We got a lot to get through today. We're going to be on here for about an hour to, an hour 10, something like that, and get through things in a quick fashion. But I want to make sure that when you leave here, you are completely capable of dialing in your time management using ChatGPT, figuring out how to do it all yourself. So let's go ahead and jump in. Now, this is not about me. This is about you, but I need to just introduce myself. If you don't know me that well, I don't like giving myself a ton of plaudits, but I'm just going to tell you who I am, why this is important, and why I am qualified to show you this stuff. So my name is Lewi Gault, as you may or may not know. I've been a top producing realtor in Denver. What is a top producer anymore? Who knows? But I've been doing that in Denver for about 8 years now. I was a team leader acquired by Compass Real Estate and then left there, moved to EXP Realty, where I'm now a top 1% leader in the company. I do a lot in there. I've been told and hailed as a industry leading productivity coach, which is kind of weird to say. I do a lot of public speaking. I talk about this, but the most important things are at the bottom here. I'm a recovering workaholic, which is what I want to really show people how to avoid. And I'm a dedicated father and devoted husband. That is the two biggest things that are most important. And hopefully these are the two things that you take into your world after figuring out how to do time management. So what we're doing today, we're talking about ChatGPT, but before we can jump into the sexy stuff, the prompts, all the cool stuff like that, we have to talk about a couple of things. We have to talk about a few principles. We have to make sure that you understand why we're doing what we're doing, because if I just show you the how, it won't make any sense. We need the what and the why as well, so we can dive in and have context into what you're actually doing with ChatGPT and why you're actually doing it. So we're going to jump into this, and I want to start right here. So we'll get to prompts. We'll get to all that. Trust me, I've got a bunch of prompts for you. You're going to get all those. No problem at all. But until we understand the context and the mindset that we need to be able to do this in an effective way, this is just pointless and you may as well tune off and leave right now. So let's dive into a few things here. Now, before we get going, there is one thing about ChatGPT, and it's a mindset issue that a lot of people don't really understand. And it's how to actually work with ChatGPT, how it actually works, what you should actually be doing, because a lot of people just throw in a one-liner prompt and expect ChatGPT to do all the work and give all the answers, and that's just not how it works. So here's the big thing, the biggest piece for me about ChatGPT in terms of what we're going to be doing today, and then as you use it across all of your business, I treat it like a world-class advisor in anything that I'm doing. So it could be information about running ads on, Facebook, or it could be open house strategies, or it could be anything, whatever it is. I think about it like the best person in the world who does this, and I've got a meeting with them. I'm going to walk into the office, sit down across a table, and then go for a conversation with that person. That's the way that I think about ChatGPT, and that's how I get so many good results from it, because this is the way I talk to it. If I just treat it as like a worker that works for me, it doesn't work that way. But if I approach it in this context, you get the most proficient answers and the best data to move forward in whatever it is that you are doing. Second piece of this is blocking time to spend with it. Again, just throwing things in, hoping for the best isn't going to work. You need to actually figure out how to use it. And we're going to kind of go through a lot of that today. How to use ChatGPT, why it's important, what you're actually saying to it, and the context around that. This is really, really important for using this, especially with the time management piece of it. My buddy Phil Stringer says, agents aren't going to be replaced by AI, but an agent using AI is going to take your job. All right. So you need to figure out how to use this and take time and block time to spend on using it. Don't expect it to do all the work. All right. You can't just put a line in and be like, blah, make me rich, or like build out all my stuff. It doesn't work that way. Right. We have to make sure that we're working with it, and we use it as an advisor when it needs to be an advisor, and then an assistant when it needs to be an assistant, a social media manager when it needs to be a social media manager, and all this stuff. But we can't expect to do it all the work. We have to go back and forth with it a lot. And then last one, guys, be polite. This is, people always laugh at me when I say this, but I'm always polite to ChatGPT. Why? Because inevitably, you know it, I know it. Robots are going to take over. AI is going to control them. It's going to come for the people who are not polite first. So I'll be last in line. I'll be good to go. Maybe I'll be taken away last or whatever that is. But I like to be polite to it, because when it does take over, I don't want to be the first to go. So that's kind of what I think about ChatGPT, and that's how I work with it. Now, next piece of this is how I prompt. And we're going to get to this, and I'll explain it as we go through this, but there's a few things you need to know about this as well. Giving context. I've already talked about this, in a little bit here. Giving as much context as possible. The more information you can feed this system, the better it will be able to spit out answers, information, and advice. Okay, so giving it as much context as possible, and you'll see that when we jump into our prompts today. Asking it if it understands. A lot of us just put a prompt in and expect like, oh, it understands what I'm saying, no problem at all. But we have to make sure that it does, right? We have to make sure that it understands. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? If it does, awesome. If it doesn't, well, we have to have another bit of a conversation with it. So you need to make sure it understands what you're saying. And then the best way to do that, I've found, is to have it ask clarifying questions. So I'm like, hey, ask me questions to clarify the points that we're getting across here. And it starts to break things down. And again, we're going to jump into that today as well. And then, when we get to this, when we start prompting, you'll see all of these things start to come into play, and you'll see why we get the results we're going to get today, and how that's going to free you up inside of your time and everything that we're doing. So that's a little background to ChatGPT. That's just one piece of what we're doing today. But really, why are we doing what we're doing? Why are we even on here talking about time management with ChatGPT? Well, because a lot of us live in chaos. We work in the most reactive industry in the world. If you're a realtor, you know what I'm saying. This is very, very challenging. We're always putting out fires. We're always doing things. We're here, there, we're everywhere. And we're 24/7. And it's chaos. And my goal, my mission that I'm on, is to help people like you take that chaos and bring it down to clarity, to completely build a CAM business that systematically builds itself. The name of our business is Predictable Production. That's what we're trying to build, a predictable business that produces, and it's not on fire all the time. You're not like just running around like a headless chicken all day, every day. So it's important to understand why we're here and why we're doing what we're doing. The ChatGPT stuff, the sexy stuff is awesome, but unless you know why we're doing it, it doesn't make sense. So I just want to ask you a quick question, and I want you to see if you can answer it and see who you connect with the most. I do this with almost every single agent I work with. I do this with groups I work with. We go through this piece of it, and it's very, very interesting to see. This is going to give us a good idea and a good foothold for who's where, what we're doing, and how to move forward. So I want you to figure this out, and I'm going to give you a poll in just a second here. Which agent are you? 3 choices here, 3 choices for agents. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and figure this out. Agent number 1, you've become a victim of your own chaos and complexity. You have no idea how to gain clarity and simplicity inside of your production. That's agent number 1. Agent number 2, you're starting to manage the complexity and chaos, but you still struggle to find efficiency in your actions and your commitments. And then the last one, you are simpler in your production and your efficiency than you ever have been before, but you still find yourself constantly focusing on the fires of production. So I'm going to throw out a poll here, which is going to give you uh, agent 1, 2, or 3 to connect with. And when you answer that, it's going to give me an idea of who's on the call, where we're at, so we can take things in the right direction. So answer that poll, jump in, click where you're at, agent 1, 2, or 3, and then this is going to let us move forward. Remember, agent 1, you're a victim of your own chaos and complexity. You're just all over the place. It's a nightmare. Agent number 2, you're starting to figure things out, but you struggle with any kind of efficiency in actions. You're still overcommitting. You're still here, there, and everywhere. And then agent number 3, you're starting to find this simplicity piece of it, but you're still finding that like focusing on things is hard because you keep having to put fires out in your business. All right. There we go. Get a couple more answers here. Agent 3. Okay. So 75% of people right now are agent number 3. So we're still putting out fires all the time. All right. Lovely. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for participating in that. That's perfect because that's exactly where we're going to go with this today. So the fires of production, right? We're always putting out fires. We focus. We know where we want to go. We're trying to do it all, but we just can't get it done. It's chaos in there. So this is perfect for us to go through today and go through these prompts. This is going to really, really help you out. So here's what I want for you. By the end of today, I want you to start to operate your business in simplicity and focus that allows you to clearly see the path forward every single day. You wake up every day and you're, boom, I know what I'm doing. I'm not getting distracted. I'm dialed in. Your drive for simplicity will allow you to take actions that are not only important, but aligned with your vision. So not only do we know what we're doing, but we know why we're doing it. We have goals, we have things that we're trying to achieve, and every single action we take is actually getting us closer to that goal. Nothing will get us off track. And then the last one, you work inside the cam of production that is by design, not by default, allowing you to create from desire and not from desperation, right? So this piece of it is very, very important. When we go by default, it means that we're just defaulting to realtor mode. Like, I'm a realtor, I'll do whatever anyone tells me to do. But if you have this designed, if you have your business designed, if you have an actual goal, if you have a strategy in place, if you know what you're doing, you can create from what you want in desire, not from desperation, chasing deals and having commission breath and all that stuff. So we're going to help you build that out today. Now, we're going to talk about two things, and then we're going to open up ChatGPT. But these two things are super duper important for you to understand before we can go in there, because this will give you the context you need. The first one is this, the Eisenhower matrix. Now, I talk about this all the time. If you've followed me for a while, if you've seen me speak, you're probably bored of this. You're like, oh God, here we go again. But the reason I harp on about it is because it's so important to use. It's a tool that's extremely valuable in what you're doing. So let me share this out and I'll show you exactly what this is. Feel free to take notes. You can draw along. You can do your thing. I'll send you a recording of this webinar so you can watch this back again, whatever you want to do, but take notes, do your thing. The Eisenhower matrix was designed to figure out what we're doing. Basically, the best way to use this really is to time track for a couple of weeks and then take everything that you've done in the last couple of weeks and put them into these different quadrants. This is going to show you if you're working on your business, if you're working in your business, if you're working on things that aren't even relevant, and help you to start to dedicate your time effectively. So this is how you go ahead and start to use this. Now, you draw these four boxes here. At the top right, top left, you're going to write urgent. And as we go along today, you'll realize that my handwriting is absolutely atrocious. This is just something that you're going to have to learn to deal with. And on the top right, it is not urgent. Okie dokie. On the left-hand side, we're going to say important and not important. Woo. Okay, let's talk about what this looks like. What are the difference between these boxes and why is this even important? So we'll kind of go left to right here. The first box is urgent and important. What does that mean? These are tasks and things that we need to be doing in our business that are very, very urgent to get done. Like these need to be done in like 24 hours or less. This has to happen. And they're important to the growth and the facilitation of the business. So these are important tasks that have to get done for the business and they're urgent. They need to get done now. The time crunch is on it. If we don't do these, there's fires are going to start, things are going to blow up, and it's going to be crazy. So this box right here is a very important box, urgent and important. These are the tasks that we are going to do. Now you'll see when we get to the prompts, you'll see why this context is important for you to know. The next box over here is the not urgent, but important. So not urgent and important. What does that mean? It's not urgent that this gets done today. It's okay. We can put this off for a few days or maybe a week or maybe even a month. It's not urgent that we get this done right now, but it's extremely important to the growth of your business. So in this box right here, we have to decide when to do these tasks. All right, we need to figure out when are we going to do these. They're important to the business. I know this, but it's not urgent. I call this the money box, and we'll get back to this in a little bit here. This is called the money box. Why? Because the people who actually build a scalable business work inside of this box, because it's stuff that other agents don't do. Other agents put off. Other agents say, that'd be nice to have, but I don't know. Like I can't build out my CRM. I can't build out follow-up campaigns. I'll get to that at some point. I just need to sell right now. And although that's a valid point for some people, the problem is if you're always working in this box number one, if you're always just doing and putting out fires, your business is never, ever going to scale because you'll be stuck right there. So box number two is extremely important if you want to build a business that blows up and sustains itself and is predictable in its actions. So keep that in mind. Okay, on the bottom left here, we've got urgent, but not important. So this is not important. Now, what does this mean? What could this possibly be? What's not important to your business? You want to think about this as things that you don't typically have to do yourself. All right. Things that anyone could do, really, or anyone who's trained in it could do. So this could be work for a TC, could be, distributing contracts, paperwork, could be installing signs. It could be, posting on social media, whatever that looks like. It is urgent to get done. I have to get this sign installed today or tomorrow, but it's not important that I do it. It's not important. I can get someone else to do it. Okay. So this is the box where you decide to, whoopsie, I told you my writing was bad. So is my spelling. This is where we delegate. And what's really interesting is I work with a ton of agents. And what I find the most fascinating is that whenever we start to do this, people who think that they're working in the do box are actually working in the box where they should be delegating. This happens all the time. We're like, I'm doing the work, I'm busy. But all that work that you're doing is just stuff that you could be taken off your plate, and you should be taken off your plate. And that should be delegated and outsourced and leveraged to someone else or some other system that does it for you. So very, very important thing to understand here. And then this last box, let's just keep it in red. This is delete. So this is stuff that is not urgent to your business and is also not important. If something is not urgent and it's also not important, you need to cut that out of your business. I talk about anchors and propellers all the time. If my goals for me and for my business are on an island here, right? This is a little tree. If they're on an island and this is the water getting towards the island and I'm in this boat right here, the people in my life, the things in my life, the things I consume, the things I do on a daily basis, the tools I use, the relationships I have, are they anchors? I don't know what that is. Or are they propellers? Are they dragging me back the way? Are they dragging me down? Are they keeping me stalled out? Or are they shooting me forward at light speed to get closer to my goals? And it's a powerful thing when you start to think about this. The tasks you're doing on a daily basis, when you look back in your calendar, when you track your time, are those things getting you towards your goal, or are they holding you back from it? And these are where tasks need to be deleted and meetings need to be deleted. Pointless meeting with lenders, pointless meetings with title reps, all these things that you know are a waste of time, but you do them anyway, that needs to be deleted. So This is the Eisenhower matrix. It's so powerful to use and it's so important to use. And when I started kind of getting things together, I would use this probably every week or 2 weeks at one point. Then it would be kind of become like a month every quarter. And now I kind of do it every now and then when I feel like I'm sliding a little bit. But if you've never used this before and you feel like you're all over the place, this is one of the most powerful tools that you can use. So this is Eisenhower Matrix. We're going to use this in the prompts today. I'm going to show you how that's going to help to break down things and then manage your time efficiently. All right, let's get back to our little business of our presentation. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about before we get into the prompts and into ChatGPT are the 4 pillars of production. So in your business, in my business, in anyone's business, I believe that there's 4 core pillars that determine what your business does, the outcomes of your business, and how successful it's going to be. And whatever work you do in all 4 of these determines where it goes. And the 4 are here: services and offer. What services do you offer your clients? What's your UVP, your unique value proposition? What is it you do differently than I do? If we were meeting the same client and going on the same listing presentation, what would separate you from me? A lot of people don't really think about this too much. They just think they're realtors and they'll just do whatever for anyone. But who do you service? What does that look like? In our production business, for us, it's young families with kids. We are phenomenal with them because we speak their language, we understand their pain points, we know what they're looking for. So if me and my wife go up against another agent who's maybe, say, single or whatever and isn't in that life, we're going to crush them. Why? Because we've dialed this into a T. We understand what that client needs and we crush those listing presentations, buyer presentations, whatever. So we understand our UVP. So the services and offer part is the first one, understanding who you are, who you service, and what you offer. Next piece is marketing. How do you get that? How do you get that out there? How do you get your message out there? How do you get people to see you? How do you get eyeballs on you? How do you get your business to get noticed? The marketing piece is massive. And then that leads to sales, your sales process. Do you have a sales process? Do you have systems in place? Do you have a contract to close piece of it? Do you know exactly what happens in every part of the contract? Do you know when you go for a listing presentation, when you close it, how to speak that language? What are those pieces for you? Do you have holes in there? We're going to work through them today. And then the last one is fulfillment. Fulfillment. This is how you build the most predictable business of all time. If you can build fulfillment with your clients, you will have clients for life. So this is a massive part of things. How do you build fulfillment processes out? Do you have, gift baskets going out? Do you have quarterly phone calls? Do you have yearly client check-ins? What do you do for fulfillment? So these are the 4 pillars of production that I believe are the most important things to do. All right, let's get into the sexy stuff. Let's get into ChatGPT, and I'm going to show you how this all comes together and how we can start to manage our time effectively with this stuff. Now, as we go along, guys, if you have any questions, just drop them in the Q&A. Just put them in there and we'll get to them at the end. But don't be shy if you feel stuck, if you're like, I don't really understand what's going on here. Just put your question in the Q&A and we will get to it, okay? I want to make sure everyone's good to go, everyone's got their questions answered, and they know what they're doing so no one is confused. So this is what you're going to get at the end of this. These are the prompts that we're going to go through, and everything that you're going to get is in here. It's going to take you through the whole shebang. Everything that you need is right here. So I'm going to talk us through it. I'm going to talk us through what this looks like, why we're doing it, and then we can jump into ChatGPT and put it in and get it to talk. Now, we need to set it up. Remember what we said. We have to have context in what we're doing. ChatGPT needs to know what we're up to, what we're doing, why we're doing it. So here is the first prompt. It is this. Now, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. Okay. First prompt. You are Eisenhower GPT. You are the world's leading specialist in time and task management. You've helped millions of realtors use the Eisenhower matrix to break down what tasks in their business and life they should be doing, deciding on, delegating, or deleting. Your number one goal is to understand my business in great detail and provide me with insight into how to execute and achieve my goals and desired outcomes systematically. I have more info to give you, but for now, do you understand? So we've given it a lot of context. We've told it who they are, how they're operating, what we're looking to from them, and what we actually want to start talking about. And then we've asked it for clarity. Do you understand? Now, before we show you the prompts inside ChatGPT, I do just want to show you one thing here. When you go in here, I would highly advise you to use O1 Preview. So you should have a paid version of ChatGPT. If you don't have a paid version of ChatGPT, you are not investing well in your business. It's like $20 a month for the most advanced tool available to realtors, in my opinion. Now, when you're doing this, use O1 Preview because this has the best conversation piece. This has the best understanding of what you're doing. Is only knowledgeable up to 2023, but in the terms of what we're doing today to get ideas and stuff out of us, it's perfect. Okay, so make sure you're using O1 Preview when you do this. Cool. Okie dokie. So the first prompt we throw in here and we go through it like this. We type that exact prompt in. We say, do you understand? I'm going to show you ones that are already done, because if I type them in, press enter, and we wait for a minute and a half and we have to go back and forth with it, this is a time management class that you're in right now. Why would I waste time to do that? So I'm just going to show you the prompt, the answer, what it all means, and how you can start to put it together. Okay. So I've put that prompt in and it says, yes, I understand. I'm here to help you analyze tasks using the Eisenhower matrix to optimize your time management and achieve your goals systematically. Please provide more details about your business so we can get started. Now, after that, you want to add in our second prompt that you will have access to here, which is right like this. Based on your extensive knowledge on the Eisenhower matrix, I want you to start asking me questions about my business so that we can figure out exactly what I need to start doing, decide on doing in the future, delegating and deleting. I'm a realtor in your city name, and I want you to keep the questions around the areas of my services and offer, marketing, sales, and fulfillment. So now we've done everything. ChatGPT, the Eisenhower matrix, we've thrown in there. We've also thrown in our 4 pillars of our business. Now we're going to start cooking with gas. Okay. So we put that in there, that prompt right here. Now I'm in Denver. Wherever you are, you'll add that in for you. And it'll say, great, let's explore each of these areas to understand your business better and identify tasks to categorize using the Eisenhower matrix. Now I'm going to switch to a different one right here. Same deal. It's just one I did earlier. I just want to kind of show you where we're at with things. So a couple of things here. There's lots of information that you're going to give ChatGPT here. And honestly, I would carve out 45 minutes or so to actually, if you want to do this properly, if you want this to work for you, you need to give it a ton of context and really go back and forth and dig deep with it, because it's going to ask you questions that are not easy. Because if you don't have the ability to answer a question, it will prompt you to think about it. So I would carve out like 45 minutes to an hour to really, really go through this. Now, one thing that's going to happen, and ChatGPT does this all the time, is it starts to ask you questions like in groups, like it's asking me 1, 2, 3 questions about services offer, 4 questions about marketing, 3 questions about sales, and 3 questions about fulfillment. I can't just type all this in here, right? It doesn't make sense. So what I like to do is go back and start to get it to clarify and just dumb down a little bit. So I say, I need you to ask me 1 question at a time so that I can get clear on everything in detail. All right. I just want 1 at a time. I want it to be back and forth like this until we work through everything. You can do it the other way if you want. This is what I would advise to do, because that means that you can really start to think about 1 thing at a time rather than, 100 things at once. And we'll get through this here and it will start to bring us down. So I'm not going to go through everything because it's a lot here, but I just want to show you kind of basics of what it's been doing. So what are the core services you offer as a realtor, and how do they align with the needs and preferences of your target market in Denver? Again, that's quite a big question. If you haven't figured this out yet, I'm not that smart. I know what I'm doing. I'm good at what I do, but I'm not that smart, right? So I'm like, hey, can you simplify this question? Feel free to break it down into multiple questions. I want you to dumb it down for me so that we can really get to the brass tacks. I'm not trying to sound super important or smart. I want my business to work so I can make money. So I don't care if we simplify things down to the easiest, peasiest questions. So that's what I ask it to do. Again, if you're a big brain person, You can do as many questions as you want. So here we go. What specific services do you provide as a realtor? Now, this is just a test sample I did, so I'm just filling things in. I help people buy and sell homes, relocate to Denver from other areas, and work with homes in probate. Awesome, great mix of service. Which of these services is most demanded by your clients in Denver? Buyers. What challenges did buyers typically face? High interest rates and low inventory. And we go back and forth for a while, right? Now, again, take your time, let it break things down with you. We're breaking down everything right now inside of our services and offer. We go back and forth for quite a while. From there, after we've gone through all the questions in this piece, it moves on to marketing and it starts to ask marketing questions. Then it starts right here, boom. And the marketing questions, what marketing channels are you currently using to reach potential buyers and sellers in Denver? How have these channels performed in terms of generating leads and conversions? Like Instagram, YouTube, and Sphere. These are what I'm doing for marketing. Okay, it starts to break things down. So again, let it break it down. Go way deep into the conversation. The more it understands you, the better results you're going to get. And we go through this, we go through this, and we go through this, and then it switches to sales, and then it switches to fulfillment as well. So we're going through everything here, breaking down this kind of test business I put together. We've talked about, I would just want to show you this, strategies for improving follow-up. So I've told it this, and last point, kind of before we move on here, be honest with it, all right? Don't try and bullshit it as if we're meeting and you're like, actually, I'm pretty good at this when you're really, really not. Be honest with ChatGPT. Tell it the truth so it can actually help you. Let your guard down a little bit, okay? So check this out. How do you currently manage and nurture leads from initial contact through to closing? Are there specific areas in the process where you see opportunities for improvement or greater efficiency? That's a great question. So I said, I'm great at meeting leads because I could talk to a brick wall, phenomenal at meeting leads. But from there, I'm terrible at follow-up, which I absolutely am. Now, if I add them to a CRM, I forget about them. But if I don't, I have a very hard time remembering everyone and following up. I'm sure I lose clients this way. This is also the case with past clients. And this is a true story from when I kind of started out in the business. I was so bad at this, so bad at follow-up. It was terrible. So it's like, cool, here's some strategies for improving follow-up. And then it will say, would you be interested in exploring specific CRM features or tools that could automate and remind you of follow-up tasks, or would you prefer to focus on training and delegation strategies to enhance your follow-up process? So you see how it really starts to like ask intelligent questions about what our business is doing and how we can break it down. And I'm like, hey, training and delegation, let's do that. And then it will start to pull things out and we go back and forth. So again, let it do its job. We are training this thing as an advisor, a business advisor who's breaking things down to the last little detail. And then and only then will it be able to open up and let us know what we should be doing it, what we should be deciding to do later, what we should be delegating, and what we should be deleting. And that's what we're going to get to now. So we've gone through everything here. I think I actually stop it short in this one because we were going too long. Yeah, okay. Let's keep going with the rest of these questions and sections. Okay, perfect. All right. So once you've gone through that, and once you feel like you've exhausted everything, and you're like, okay, we've gone through everything, we've done all my pillars of production, we've done every single thing. Then we want to go back and start to prompt again. So the last one we want to do here, once you've gone through everything, once you're happy with all the questions and you feel like you've got everything off your plate, you say this: I want you to go back through all of my answers and insights with extensive detail and list out which parts of my business, projects, or tasks fall into each of the 4 Eisenhower matrix quadrants. What should I be doing, deciding when to do, delegating, or deleting? So think about, what happened here. We completely broke everything down. And now we're like, okay, dude, throw in the Eisenhower matrix. Tell me what's up. This is pretty much what's going on right now. And this is where the magic really starts to happen. So come back here and we put that prompt in like this, and it starts to pull things out. So it kind of, in my session, and again, it might not be a carbon copy of all this, right? Because ChatGPT really kind of ebbs and flows with the way that you communicate with it. but it's breaking down kind of highlights of services, offers, marketing, sales, and fulfillment. And then it goes through it. Oopsie. Let me pull this up here. Oopsie, hold on. It might be this one. Aha. There we go. So now in this example here, I told it that the big focuses that I'm trying to do are in my marketing was in my YouTube channel. So neighborhood tours and film tours. When we went through the back and forth, the big piece that was coming out was like, I need to get on YouTube and do marketing tours and neighborhood tours and home tours on YouTube. I need to go big time on that. And then the other big piece of it was that I wanted to, in this scenario, I wanted to get into like wholesaling and you know, figure out how I can get involved with that and meet industry partners to help me with that. Right, that's the kind of two scenarios I gave this example right here. So when I broke these down here, it was like, cool. Here's the things you have to start doing like immediately. Plan and film your neighborhood tours on YouTube. Meet with lenders and industry partners. Here's the things you need to decide on. Expand your network to access off-market properties. You need to decide when to do that. Implement a system for tracking and calculating your ROI. Delegating, you need to find an editor and a production team for your YouTube so you're not doing it all the time. And you need to delegate regular follow-ups with industry partners and potential leads. Could be a CRM, could be a VA, who knows? Don't worry about it just yet. We're going to get into it. And here's the things to delete. Now, in this scenario, I didn't really put a bunch of tons of stuff that weren't relevant. So it didn't come up with a lot of deletion, but it was like, hey, stop any tasks or strategies that don't contribute significantly to generating leads. Stop over frequent checking of platforms and metrics that don't directly inform decision making, and stop engaging in marketing activities that have consistently shown low ROI without strategic adjustments. And it keeps going on and tells me that stuff. Now, this will be a lot longer of a list for you because you're going to go through it in depth. I kind of stopped it short to just get these examples out here. So this is a big piece of them here. And this is what we're going to do next. Now, last one in this section, and then we're going to open a new tab. But the last one for this whole conversation is, now I want you to take all of these and break them down into projects, tasks, and subtasks that I can start doing. Keep them inside of the Eisenhower knowledge and let me know what I should do later, leverage, and delete. So we're saying, cool, thanks for the advice. I understand all the things that you're saying to me. What I want you to do now is break it down into like a list. Like, here's all the do's, here's all the decides, here's all the, you know, delegates, here's all the deletes. So we're getting to break it down systematically so we have a visual of what we actually need to be doing. And the beautiful thing about this, guys, is that you can come back to this, right? You can come back to this as a project manager in the next prompt that I'm going to show you. This is the dope part. So it starts to, oopsie, wrong tab. So it starts to break things down. So you can see here, okay, planning and filming neighborhood and home tours for YouTube. Okay, here's some tasks. Identify the neighborhoods to feature, schedule filming dates, prepare a list of talking points, gather filming equipment, film the tour. Those are do's. Meet with the lenders and industry partners for my stuff. List the potential lenders you're going to chat with. Schedule your meetings. Prepare a value proposition. Discuss agreements with lenders. Follow up with a summary email and next steps. Like those are things you have to get going on right now for these two things you want to do. Here are a couple of things you need to decide. Okay, for the off-market properties, research potential new contacts and networks. Okay, we don't have to do this today, but you have to get this done. Decide on a strategy for when you contact people, create a timeline for outreach efforts, and decide goals for how many contacts you want a month. So very cool. Delegating, obviously for YouTube, it's saying post-production and content. Research and select a video editor. Go find one. Define editing guidelines and what you want. Build out a workflow for submitting footage and receiving edited videos, and then set deadlines. So that's what I want to get off my plate. I want to delegate that out. And then for the off-market properties, define a follow-up schedule for different types of contacts, create or update templates for follow-up messages, train your VA or support staff on follow-up process, implement a system for tracking follow-ups in your CRM. So what's happened, right? Where are we at right now? we've had that massive conversation with our ChatGPT about what's going on in our business. It's become this world-class advisor, and we've broken down every part of our business, from our offer to our marketing, from our sales and fulfillment. Everything, single thing's broken down. Then we're being like, okay, what should we start doing now? What should we do later? What should we delegate? What should we delete? Okay, you should do this stuff. Okay, well, let's break that down now into tasks. Okay, now we're breaking it down into tasks. So all of a sudden, we're really starting to funnel down into what it is we need to be doing. And this is when we're going to open up a new tab and start a new chat with ChatGPT. Because now we have all the information, we've extracted all the information that we need about our business to move forward. But how do we move forward? Well, we need a project manager. And this is what we're going to do next. So you're going to start a new chat, and you're going to say, you are a project list GPT. You're the world's most effective time management assistant, and you work exclusively with realtors who need to add up to 5 critical tasks per day to their business. I will give you the projects with tasks that I'm currently working on, because we have that information already. We will brainstorm any additional tasks that need to be added. From there, I will give you time blocks in my calendar for the week that I can execute on tasks, and you will add in a schedule of what to work on each day. Do you understand? If so, let's get working together. So with this, we've said, hey, listen, I know what I need to do. I just really need help in when to do it. Like I'm stuck. My calendar's a big old mess. I need you to help me. And this is what we're about to train this robot on how to do. So we throw that in there, and you can see this is the prompt right here. And it says, yep, I understand. I'm here to help you manage your tasks and schedule effectively. Please share the projects and tasks you're currently working on, and we will start brainstorming any additional tasks that might be needed. So from in these examples here, I added in just one, just because I didn't want to overcomplicate it, because if you put in like all of your projects and tasks, it'll really start to go to town. So I just did one just now, and I would probably recommend doing one at a time for in terms of projects, so you can really start to build them up. But the project is planning and filming neighborhood and home tours for YouTube. And here are the tasks: identify neighborhoods to feature, schedule filming dates, and all the tasks that ChatGPT gave us in the last prompt. So it's like, cool, thank you for sharing your current tasks and planning and filming your neighborhood and home tours. Here's some additional tasks that you might consider adding to your project. So it's going to give you additional tasks that we asked for. These might be good, these might be not. It doesn't matter, but it's nice to have it start to think about things again. It's giving me design custom thumbnails, optimize for SEO, all these different tasks that are applicable to the project that I'm doing. Now, this could be for you, open house tours, it could be whatever, right? But I hope you see that this is how we're breaking things down to the minute here. So it's given us all these different things, and that is awesome. Now, this is the cool part. This is where we can actually, because at this point, it's like, all right, Louis, well, we've got all these things, we've got all these tasks broken down, like ChatGPT is cool and everything, but like, what does that mean for me? How do I actually move forward? How do I execute this? Like, what does this actually look like for me on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? And this is what we're going to do next, right? Because this is all about time management. It's not just about how cool ChatGPT is or whatever. It's really, really to save you time, to make you more efficient, and to make your business predictable. So what I want to show you is this calendar. So I just built out this kind of basic calendar. I don't read too much into it. I just want to fill in some spaces and have some empty spaces to show you how to use this effectively. So right now it's got a workout at the top here. It's got family time from 7 to 8:30. It's got lead gen for a couple of hours. We got a team meeting in here. We got a listing presentation here. We got showings here. We've got a meeting with a lender here. Okay. So what I just want to show you is that we want to make sure that our calendar has everything that we need to do on it already before you add this stuff in. Okay. So make sure that anything that's a non-negotiable is in your calendar already, and then we can start to fill in the gaps. Now, on a Sunday, I like to kind of look forward in the week to see what the week looks like. You could do it day by day. It's completely up to you. Obviously, our business is very rapid fire. You might wake up one day and have nothing on the books, and then all of a sudden you have showings to go to. I get it. So you could do this day by day, or you could do it on a weekly basis. I do it on a Sunday, and I look forward Monday through Friday. And then I use the GPT like this. So let's look at the prompt. The next prompt we're going to add in for that is this. I'm going to give you my schedule for the week and the time blocks that I have available to work on these tasks. From there, please advise me on exactly what tasks I should be doing in those time blocks. Do you understand? So now I'm saying, look what we've done. We've broken down our business into minuscule detail. We've understood the projects and the tasks that we need to be doing. We've broken those down. We know exactly what needs to be done, but we don't know when we can do it. Now we're going to give ChatGPT the time that we have available, and it's going to start to allocate time for working on these things. And it's going to use the Eisenhower matrix to make sure that the things we need to do get done. The things we need to decide on get pushed back a little bit. They're not super urgent. The things that we need to delegate probably aren't in here, or it's going to build time for us to build that delegation out. And the things that we need to delete will never see the light of day again. So it's always going to come from a standpoint of the Eisenhower matrix. So we jump in here, and that's what we say. We say that exact prompt. And it says, yep, I understand. Please share your schedule and the available time blocks for the week. I'll advise you on exactly which tasks to focus on during those times. Now, we did this last week, but I'm going to change up the time blocks so that you can see this part live, because this part's really important. So let's go back to our calendar here, and let's just see what we have available, okay, for the next few days. So let's give ourselves a little break here. We'll go, we'll do 11:30 to 1:30 on Monday. So we can just say tasks here. Okay. And then maybe we got meeting with a lender. Maybe we'll do 4 to 5 as well. Okay. And this is exactly the way I do this every week, guys. When I start to build this out, I just fill in the gaps here with the word tasks, and I can put everything together later. So let's say, for example, we're going to do that. Tasks. Let me just take it up to there. I like clean blocks. Wednesday's pretty packed. All right. I'm not going to stress too much about that. We got a lot going on Wednesday. So again, give yourself some grace. You don't have to be on all day, every day, and like a robot. This is going to be a pretty packed out day. So I'm good with this. Thursday, we got some time. Let's just go here. Let's go 12 to 5. Tasks. And then Friday, we got showings in the afternoon. So maybe let's just get like, you know, enough time here just to do a couple things after we've done lead gen. And then from there, we can get some lunch before we head to these showings. Cool. So all we're going to do now is we're going to give ChatGPT these available blocks and go for there. Now, I'm going to have to reprompt it a little bit, but you would come back to this every week and be like, okay, completed these tasks. Let's move on to the next ones. Okay. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm actually going to move this calendar down so I can see the times I have available. So let me pull this up here. And all I'm going to come in here and say is, I did not complete any of those tasks for the week. Let me give you my schedule for next week so I can start again. Okay. Now, again, you would say, hey, I got this done, I got that done, I didn't get this done. So it knows, because again, it's a project manager. So if it knows what's going on, it's good to go. If it doesn't have any idea, it's just going to presume that you got things done. So I'm just like, hey, I didn't do anything. I had a lazy week. So I'm going to say Monday. I'm going to say 11:30 to 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday, we had 11:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wednesday, nothing available. And you want to make sure you put that in. Don't just skip Wednesday. I like to put in that there's no time available. Thursday, we had 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. And then Friday, we just had 11 a.m. to, what was it, 12:30 p.m. So that is all of the available time that we have in this calendar to assign to tasks for the week. Great question. So, Sean, excellent question. Are you able to just screenshot your calendar and upload the image instead of listing things out? Now, that's actually a really great question. In ChatGPT o1 preview, you cannot do that. So it doesn't work with images. So if you see here, when I try to attach things here, it's unavailable right here. You can use that on ChatGPT 4.0. You can attach it and upload a screenshot. You could absolutely do that. For me, it's worth it to do it on this model here because it's way more intuitive and it understands a lot greater capacity. So completely up to you, but that's a phenomenal question, Sean. Thanks for bringing that up. So yeah, if you want to attach images or upload anything, use 4.0. But again, it won't be as quite as understanding and capable of conversation as o1 preview. But yes, you absolutely could do that. Great question. So let's go ahead and just enter that in and we'll see what it spits out here. And one thing with o1 preview is it thinks more and it will take a little bit longer to actually do this. So 4.0 sometimes just spits things out. This one takes a little bit better. Okay, dokie. So let's see what it's got for us. Okay. So now it's going to spit out, hey, Monday, you got 1.5 hours. Here's what to do. Research and select neighborhoods you want to showcase. Consider factors. So yeah, we've got an hour and a half to work on identifying neighborhoods. Later on, for an hour, start to list out potential lenders and partners, right? We can do that in an hour, absolutely. And then Tuesday, okay, schedule filming dates. That's going to take 1 hour. Contact homeowners, community managers, your videographer, coordinate all your scheduling dates. A couple of hours, that's perfect for that. And it goes on and on and on. And it just starts to build out, here's what you can get done in these timeframes. So the last part of what we do here, I just copy this because again, remember, I'm doing this on Sunday. So I project it for the week. So I'll copy that and I'll move back to my calendar and I'll click into my calendar. Now this is Apple. I don't actually use Apple Calendar. It's just a good visual one to use. I do this in Google Calendar, but it has notes as well. I'll just paste in, here we go. That's what we're doing on that time. And we'll go back and I'll say at 5 p.m. This is what we're doing right here. And you can just paste this in and all of a sudden you can build out your entire week. And when I get to Monday, I've worked out, I've done my family time, I've done my lead gen. Okay, I've got tasks to do. What do I need to do right here? Okay, oh yeah, that's right. I'm going to research and select the neighborhoods that I want to showcase and do some other stuff. So what's just happened? Let's kind of talk about where we kind of came from and where we kind of have got to. We went from a place of chaos, right? 75% of you said that you identified with agent number 3, right? And agent number 3 was, I'm starting to get things going on, but the production, the fires are still happening. I'm having to put them out and it's still a little bit chaotic. So now we've taken that chaos, we've taken everything inside your brain, everything inside your business, and we've broken it down. We've got it all out your head. This is one of the big things with us, guys. This brain right here is made for creation. It's not made for storage. And we try to store all this stuff in our head. You have to get it out. And this is why that conversation piece is so good, because you can start to find holes in your business. You can start to really dial in what you need to be doing and deleting and all that good stuff. So we've taken all these ideas, we've taken everything we're doing, we've got it out our head into the advisor. It's told us, hey, here's what you should focus on. Here's what you should look at later. Here's what you should delegate. Here's what you need to get off your plate. Okay, cool. Then we've taken it to our project manager next door in the next office. And he's like, okay, cool. Let's break this down. Here's all the tasks that we want to be doing. Let's dial this in. Okay, here are your projects. And now we've taken it to our time manager and we've said, hey, here's our calendar. I need you to schedule out all this stuff I need to do. And it's done it. So now we've gone from chaos to clarity. We have exactly what we need to do for the week or the day or the month or however long you want to program this for. And it's a massive piece of the puzzle, because if you know what you're doing, you can eliminate distractions and you can just get on with things. And remember what I was talking about, guys, inside of our Eisenhower matrix. It will get you to do all the urgent tasks first to get them out of the way, but then it's going to move you right over here to this box, to the money box. And this is where businesses are built. So once it gets you done with your urgent and important tasks, it's going to prompt you like, hey, let's start working on the things that really build the business. Let's get you to a place where your business starts to scale that hardly any realtors know how to focus on. Well, now you don't even need to know how to focus on. You just need to look at the tasks that you have to do, and it will tell you what to do and when to do it. So we've used ChatGPT in all its, all its knowledge to help us completely dial in this idea of the Eisenhower matrix and how to move forward in power in our business. So that's time mastery in essential with ChatGPT. Now, we could go into way more detail and dive into a lot more things. We try and keep this to an hour or just a little bit over, but this is what this looks like. It's a very, very important thing to realize that when you don't really think about this, it's challenging, and you just end up in this chaotic kind of karmic loop of your business where you're just every day you wake up and you just take whatever comes at you. This takes you into a systematic way of working where you can create from a place of abundance and start to move forward in power with everything that you're doing. Now, one of the questions I get is like, okay, cool, this is awesome, but like what like what does how do I even start with this? How do you even get moving with this? Like how do you put all this together? This didn't come overnight to me. I just want to kind of put that out there, right? This isn't like an overnight thing where you're just like, okay, cool, now I'm a time master or whatever. It doesn't work like that, right? This took me about 4 to 5 years to really start to dial this in. Like I told you at the start of the call, I'm a recovering alcoholic, recovering workaholic. I used to work sun up to sundown, and it was a nightmare. So I had to invest a ton in myself to push forward to figure this out, to really dial in, like, who did I need to become? How did my business need to operate? How would I actually figure out a predictable business and build it over time? And the biggest thing I ever did was to invest in myself. And over the years, I've invested tens of thousands of dollars in a ton of different things and coaching and everything that I've done. I've had Ed Milet as a coach inside of RT, who really kind of showed me like why my purpose of my business, what I was trying to do, who I was trying to become, along with obviously Andy Frisella, who's also one part of RT. And Andy taught me resilience and how to keep pushing, how to work even sometimes when I didn't want to work. This was a massive undertaking. Garrett White showed me how to actually keep my relationships intact with still scaling and building a business at the same time. Dan Martell, he's my current coach. Dan Martell showed me how to build in systems into my business, how frameworks work, how to really push my forward and scale it in my business in a real predictable and systematic way. He's phenomenal. And then Tony Robbins, I was in Tony Robbins' group for a while. And, Tony Robbins is Tony Robbins. I'm sure you don't need to know too much of an explanation about why that was powerful. But you see, what I did was I wasn't, just trying to fix myself from within. I took all these people, I took all these coaches and all this advice and all these things I learned. And now that's what I help do with agents. This is what the stuff I bring. Everything I learn, I bring to agents inside of different coaching things I do and all this kind of stuff. And my big mission is to help people get off that rat race, that hamster wheel, stop being workaholics, or even avoid becoming a workaholic, and build a sustainable business that's predictable so that you can actually fuel the life that you want to live. And this is a massive piece of what I do. And it's what my calling is inside of our industry. And obviously, there's people along the way that have got a lot of help, which has been awesome. Adam freed up a ton of hours, doesn't work weekends anymore because we showed him how to systemize that. Kyle spends way more time with his family now than he did. He's a top producing luxury agent in Canada. And Dawn, her productivity skyrocketed with things. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, I'm bringing this up because I have something coming out in the next month here that's super powerful. There's a lot of coaching programs out there. There's a lot of different things out there who charge an absolute fortune to learn this stuff. And it's insane. And they're keeping the information to themselves, and they are kind of making sure that they put this massive paywall up in front of it. Meanwhile, agents who are maybe just getting started, who are just scaling their business, or getting that way, can't get to it. They can't get access to it. And I just can't have that. I hate it so much. So I'm building out something really special for the real estate community. And it's a community of agents who are completely brokerage agnostic. I told you I was at eXp Realty, but there is zero recruiting, zero mention of brokerage or any of that nonsense going on. Now, inside of that community that I'm building, all of the courses that I have built are going to be available inside of there. So the Realtor Time Mastery course, the Pika method, which is all about how to organize your entire business. how to systemize VAs, how to build them out, how to delegate properly and do all that efficiently. ChatGPT and a lot of different courses, and we have about 12 courses like on the books that need to be filmed coming up here. A ton of information that we're going to be putting out that is going to be phenomenal. Usually we would charge for these courses separately, but we're going to have them all inside of the community. And in the community as well, we're going to have a private training call every single week, which is live with me, and we'll be covering systems, processes, frameworks, time management, AI, productivity, automation, much more. We'll have special guests on there too. We'll have a ton of stuff going on. But the goal is to help you build a predictable business, a predictable production business that scales over time and fuels the life that you actually want to live. And when I say all this, a lot of people are like, oh, like, okay, how much does it cost, dude? And that's the thing about it. We are keeping this at the lowest minimum cost humanly possible to help us just cover overheads and get things going. And it's going to be $97 a month. So $97 a month is going to get you access to all of the courses, everything that we're doing, private calls with me every week in the group. So live training calls with me, a community of agents who are crushing it, who all want to achieve the same thing and build a systematic business. I'll be bringing you things from everyone, like Ed Milet, from Andy, from Dan, from Tony, from all these people will come into this, as well as all the things that I build out as well. So it is going to be launching in the next 30 days here. And that right there is a QR code just to get you on the wait list. Okay. There's no purchasing anything today. There's nothing like that. This just is going to put you on the wait list. If you want more information about it, we will send it out to you and get that over so that you have first dibs to get in and on board with this stuff. Like I said, no long-term contracts. You sign up. If you go through everything in a month and you're like, cool, got what I needed. Cool. See you later. No big deal. There are no long-term contracts. You jump in, $97 a month. You have access to everything, including me, including the live training calls, all the courses, any future courses that come out, and Bob's your uncle. So this is predictable production. This is the mission that I'm on, is to help realtors scale and build a business that fuels the life they want to live without being bogged down in everything that they're doing. This is why we started this webinar, Realtor Time Mastery. A lot of people struggle with it. Well, here's how to use ChatGPT to help you start to fix that problem. Okay, now a lot of that problem is mindset based and systemized, which we cover, of course, inside of the community, which is coming out. But it's a very, very important aspect to know about, which is why we went through it all today. So, like I said, right after this, you'll be sent a recording of this webinar along with the prompts inside of that Google document. You'll have all of that ready to go. That will be sent to you right after this. If you have any questions about the community, if you have any questions about what's going on, reach out. We'll shoot you out the information as soon as we have a date for that to launch. It should be like close to the start of December here. We're super excited about it to get that launched out. We already have about I think it's about 250 or so people who are ready to jump in there and get going. So we're super excited about it. Can't wait for it. And it's going to be incredible. And it's something that is really mission based. I want you to build that business that you want and it fuels your life. So that's it for today, guys. That is our webinar. Like I said, we try and keep this short, within an hour. We're about an hour and 5 minutes done. So thanks for bearing with us. I hope you have a powerful and productive rest of your day. If you have any questions, reach out to me, hit me up on Instagram, email us when we send out you the thing, reply to that, hit the QR code, sign up. We'll get you all the information that you need, and we'll see you inside of the community. Have a great rest of your Friday, and we'll see you soon.